guys, my name is Washington for who doesn't know me, and I have this channel here on YouTube to share my thoughts on Blender with you. And at the beginning Blender and 3ds Max, because I was coming from 3ds Max, and now I'm going to the same process with Houdini just because I'm studying Houdini. But anyways, that's not the case. The case is that today I'm gonna show you how to use Easy Grass Generator version 1.8 that it will be released actually today on Blender Market in Gumroad. Check the link in the description. And the version doesn't change that much from the previous version in terms of how to use it, but very important tools has been added and bug fixes, and I'm gonna show you not just that, but how to use in general the tool, because I think it deserves a tutorial since we have 8 versions of it. Okay, and it's been changing over time. So I grabbed this house from Blender Kit, and I'm using that just for reference. If you see, we have a house here and we have this plane in which I will be scattering the grass. So I'm gonna be showing you how to use that, probably in any way that you normally use for your projects, right? So you have a plane, you have something on top of it, and you want to add a grass, right? So first thing is this. I have added my grass generator into my asset library because that's very handy, and I think you should do the same. Okay, that's not the topic of this video. Let me know if you want me to do a video like this. I did it in the past, right? So you can check on my previous videos how to add something on your asset browser, and it's very easy and straightforward. I add it all the time nowadays. So I have here my previous version, Easy Grass version 1.7, and now 1.8. Okay, so the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag and drop into my scene. Now it's not really useful because it's just an instance, so I press Ctrl Z and then it brings me the collection. Okay, now we are talking about it. Okay, so Easy Grass is inside this collection. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Let me remove this guy here. So if you render this out, you see how it will look like. Okay, like for you who use Easy Grass are familiar with these results already, right? So the way the Easy Grass is, the difference is Easy Grass is textured based on any JPEG texture. Okay, so the material of Easy Grass is here. Grass 1 is this primary material. Okay, I will show you basically how it is textured. Okay, so that's the texture of the grass. If you go inside, you have this texture. Okay, you can change it in any way you want. Okay, you can change this grass and the look will be totally different. Okay, the UVW of the grass is controlled by this UV control. Okay, so if you scale down, you are scaling down the JPEG. If you rotate, you are also rotating. Okay, so let's leave it more or less the way it was before. All the grasses in Easy Grass is controlled by this gizmo. Now probably in the version 4.3 they would have gizmos inside the geometry nodes. I will figure out how to do that, and we'll make it even easier to control this grass. Okay, probably, I don't know, I didn't try that. So here we go. That's how you control your texture. Okay, so the easier way of adding your grass to your scene, let's bring back the grass, right? It will be just by joining right? Join your grass to easy grass. That will be the easiest way. So Ctrl G, you join it, okay? You are joined. Now you can go to the previous grass, the easy grass, the default, the base it was there. If you join, the mesh will still be there, and then you delete it, okay? You delete it. And you are telling me, oh, but the grass is not showing in everywhere. So let's add this to proxy. Okay, so now it's going to be easier for us to play around with. Okay, the reason is because it has camera culling by default. Camera culling is a way of optimizing your grass. For example, if you go to your camera, the grass range will be based on your camera, the location in the range of your camera. Okay, so you can control this by here. Okay, but this, if you remove it, it's gonna be casting all over the place. Okay, if you turn it on, ideally would be if you have the mesh in which your grass will be scattered subdivided, right? Because right now we just have these subdivisions. Let's add some more and then you will see what's gonna happen. You don't need to go crazy on that, okay? Just something that makes sense, okay? Something like this, right? Now the grass is being casted all over your camera because you have camera culling on. Now if you move your camera around it, you see the benefits of it. The benefit is that you optimize your scene a lot, right? Because the grass is not generated all over the place, and that's a huge improvement in terms of render memory, okay, and sometimes render times. Okay, let's subdivide a bit this mesh. I want to have even more subdivisions. Let's put above the grass. So now we have even better camera range. See? Because we have more subdivisions. It's not shown here because it's optimal. But you see how it goes? Okay. Let's remove optimal. Let's leave it even more. One more subdivision, that's nothing. Okay. Let's make it simple so we do not constrain the corners. Right? So that's it. That's pretty much it, how to use the easy grass. So your grass now is being casted here. For the sake of the tutorial, let's bring the camera back, right? Something like this. Let's expand the range of the camera on camera culling. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the tools of EasyGrass and then you will see what you can do with that. Okay, this is the proxy mode. The proxy just show you that's something that changed from a previous version. Okay, because the proxy in previous version was bounding box and it wasn't really that much optimized. This is faster and more optimized, right? So you can render and then you see just the textures as it is and the proxy, okay? But if you render, it will show the final result, okay? You also can use viewport optimization instead. So in this case, I don't know if you can see here, you have your grass here, so you can play around with the settings of your grass and still see what's going on, okay? For example, if you go here, you can see, okay, your grass and what's going on. One bug fix that was addressed in this version was the flowering, and you can see here it's now cut it off as well in camera culling, and it was in the past. Okay, it wasn't in the past. So those are the optimization options, right? Viewport optimization, proxy optimization, and camera culling. Okay, for the sake of this, let's increase the range over camera culling, right, and limit the area a bit more. So because I want to see the grass, but I don't want to get slow on my viewport. So if we remove proxy, we now have the grass going on here. Okay, and we can see what's going on, right? So we have now options of two grasses, grass 1 and grass 2. That means that you can randomize your grass in a different way that you had before, because before you just could randomize that in Wildness, which would add different heights according to a noise pattern on your grass, and that makes everything looks wild. Okay, but now you can even go further, and I think that's the main point of this version. It's making it more wild. Okay, let me show you how it looks now. So that's how it looks. That's just grass 1. Okay, and now you have grass 2, but you don't see grass 2 because grass 2 is not activated, and even if you activate it, you will not see that here yet. Why? Because the influence from the grass 1 and grass 2 is controlled by here. And influence grass 1 and grass 2. Okay, and you control that in the offset. Okay, let me bring the offset here so you can see what I'm talking about. That's because the grass is, the plane is kind of big. Okay, so what I will do is I will just grab one of these areas, which would be can be this one or something like this, okay. This one I will detach, just because, right, I want to see just this guy here, and that will be easier for us to understand. I'm gonna even hide this grass and leave it just this one. Okay, and that will be better to explain you the settings. Okay, so now you have grass 1 and grass 2 activated. Okay, and both have options of density, of resolution and scale, and I will show you here quickly. If you reduce the density, of course it's less grass. Okay, the resolution of your grass, you can see here, if you reduce the resolution you get more facet grass. Okay, the scale of the grass, okay, very intuitive, so nothing crazy. It's the idea of this add-on is to be simple. This generator is to be simple. Okay, so you have grass 2 on and you don't see it yet, so then you go to influence grass 1 and 2 and play around with the offset, and then you will start to see the grass 2 showing up. You see, that's the grass 2. Okay, and you can control the material of your grass 2 here, and the same way you can control the grass 1. Okay, grass 2, grass 1, you can go here inside your easy grass, change the material. Just for the sake of this tutorial, let's change it, okay, to something else so I can show you maybe we have a landscaping 2K. My computer is hanging just because we have Windows recently installed. Any grass material, choose you one. I don't know. I may want to do this guy. Ugly, eh? Okay, let's add another one. Maybe this one. Yeah, not too bad. Okay? And then you can always control the material, or here, right? Or using your UV control, okay? You can reduce the scale of your grass or something like this, okay? And then you have this pattern on your influence grass that you can change the scale of the noise, the pattern, okay? So you can change the scale here, okay? And you have the different scaling of the noise that control the offset, okay? So you can have quick things like this, okay? It's not just that, we now have clumps as well. So what are clumps? Clumps are bigger troops of grass that grows on a wild, and sometimes not just on wild, they are planted on landscapes, but in this case you can use it in any ways, okay? I will show you what the clamps are. If you turn it on clamps, okay, you will see something goes on here and you don't know exactly what it is, but if you render it, you will know, okay? Those are the clamps, okay? And to show you better these, I will remove grass 1 and grass 2 and leave it just the clamps, okay? Those are the clamps. And you can control your clamps here, okay? The offset is the same thing for the grass. It's how the clamps grows, okay? And you can scale the clamps, okay? And you can play around with the distribution, which is how spread out are the leaves of the clamps. Okay, so you can make them very soft, okay, like tiny sparse grass, tall grass leaves growing up in the wild, or you can crank them and then have more specific clumps going on, right? And do your turfs the way you want, the way you think that makes sense, okay? Let's turn it back, your grass, and see how it looks, okay? So and in this case you can have multiple textures and multiple looks for your grass, because the way the easy grass is built up, it's for you to play around with texture. So in this case you have the texture of your clumps here as well. So go here to clumps, you have your clumps grass here, so you can play around with your texture, okay, the same way you did for the grass, and you would be controlled. The UV map will be controlled by the same gizmo that you control the grass, okay? So for example, I don't know, maybe this guy, and then you have these scraps, okay? The texture looks different. Okay, let's put something very crazy, something like this, okay? And then you have your crabs like this. or something like maybe these, and then you have your clumps like this. Okay, I would leave it like this one here because I kind of like it, and let's continue with that. Okay, let's reduce the scale of our clumps, so we will have something like this, okay. So now let's turn it back a grass base, which is this guy here, and now what we are gonna do is we are gonna join again, okay, because we just separate these to set up our grass. Okay, let me show you one more thing. Let's remove the clumps, the second grass, or better, let's remove the influence of the second grass here. Okay, so we have just grass 1. So now you have ground extras, which are little pieces of wood that is scattered all over the ground, and you actually don't see that many here, but if you remove the grass you would probably see it here. See, those are little pieces of wood that kind of add an extra visual. You see, you're not seeing that much because of the texture of your ground, but if you crank them up, for example put it 3, so you start to see more frequently. And if you bring your grass back, so you can see them like this, you know, little pieces of wood randomly scattered on the nature that would help you to give it extra realism to your scene. Okay, flowers, the same thing. If you remove the flowers, and you have the scale of your flowering, okay, and the amount. So then you have your beneath flowers, you have your tall grass. Okay, tall grass and sage works by painting. Okay, let me show you. If you have your grass selected and vertex paint, go to your mesh and then go to color attributes. You have your sage and your tall grass. Okay, you just need to paint on them using the black color. Okay, and then if you are on tall grass and you start to paint, then you will start to see your tall grass showing up, okay, in the areas, and the precision of the painting will depend on the subdivision. Okay, keep that on mind. The same thing for the sage. Okay, the same thing for the sage. Okay, we just have a quick level of subdivision, that's why the painting is going like this. Okay, and you can of course control the scale of your tall grass and the scale of your sage as well. Okay, so let's bring it back and to remove all of these. Okay, and to remove the tall grass. Those are small details that you can apply, and you can change of course the textures of your sage and of your tall grass here, like sage, tall grass. Okay, I still have one piece of sage here, but that's fine, doesn't matter. Okay, and then you have the wildness. The wildness is it's a way of giving a wild look to your grass, just based on raising the grass a little bit or scaling up a little bit. Okay, if I go crazy on wildness, you see what is happening. Okay, you start to give bumps to your grass, and you can control the scale of your wildness. Of course, this affects everything, okay? If I go to my influence and bring grass 2 to the game, okay, grass 2 also is affected by wildness. So that's why you have to control this well and not giving a too much crazy wildness if you are using all the grass, because you may be affecting it a lot, unless you can go to your grass 2 and reduce the scale. Of course you can do this, and then you can control everything on your wildness. Okay, so give you lots of options to quick make grass looks nice. Okay, so let's bring our wildness as it was before, and let's remove a little bit the influence of your grass 2. Okay, so now what we are gonna do, we're gonna bring it back, okay, our plane in which we have our grass, where the grass is supposed to be, because I just separate this part to show you the settings, okay. But now we are gonna combine it, okay, we're gonna combine it. So what we are gonna do, we are gonna take this guy here and bring it here, okay, Control G, so join the whole thing. Okay, right now we have this, and if we render this guy out, that's what we will get. Okay, which is, I assume it will be grass, just grass 1. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our camera culling and location range. Let's expand this, so we are gonna cover the entire thing, okay, and we are gonna bring now our house back, because I want to show you one more settings, okay, which is this guy down here. Because now if you see what is happening, if you remove the proxy and leave it the optimization, you are seeing that the grass is bypassing the geometry, because the geometry is on top of it. So what you can do is you can control it by contact on and off. When you press it on, the grass will disappear, because it's not, the system is not knowing which collection you want to have it as a contact. Okay, so you just bring your collection here, and now it's not whatever you have inside this connection. Now that you are telling the grass, this is the collection that I want to exclude the grass from the contact with. From this, let me show you the results. The grass isn't bypassing anything. Okay, let me take this camera, give it more wide range, and let me fix this guy, lock it here, okay, and let me do some arc viz style for my grass, or something like this, okay, something like this. And then let's go to camera, bring it something like this. Okay, now if we render this out, that's what we have. Okay, easy grass is now scattered all over the place. Let's add the clumps in the second grass, so you see what's going on. Okay, viewport, grass 2 is here, but let's play around with the influence of grass 2. Okay, and maybe this one down here. Okay, something like this, right? Let's see. Okay, let's remove the viewport just to see how it will look. Maybe less influence. 0, 2. Maybe even less. Go 2. I want to reduce this. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, let's add the clumps and see how the clumps goes. You can see that even the clamps obey the contact surface. Okay, remove the clamps. I don't want that many clamps. Okay, something like this is good. For the sake of this guy, let's maybe add HDRI here. Let's add this guy here. Wait until Blender answer back. Okay. Let's go to environment. And HDRI. I think that maybe makes sense. Let's go 8K. I don't like to go that far on HDRIs, but let's see. No. Okay, this one maybe is good. Okay, this one. Okay, something like this. Let's render this guy out and see how it goes. Doesn't look bad, yeah? Actually, it looks really okay. Okay, I grabbed this house. Oh, that's a Michael Jackson here. Anyways, let's do a quick adjustment here on the light, and maybe rotate this light something like this, maybe. And let's remove the clamps a little bit more, just something like this. Okay, and now I want to grab my UV control and scale them up a little bit just because. Okay, and see how it goes. There we go. I think it's a pretty realistic grass. What do you think? No? Look at this. Nice grass. Look at this. Yes, it worth. I hope you guys like it. If you are interested on easy grass, check the link below. And I'll see you next time, and have a great day. Bye bye.